Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Welcome to Disney Night Live. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody is doing well.
Aloha.
Hello.
Hey, Jay.
Aloha.
Hello,
Hey, everybody.
humans.
Hello.
I always feel like busting into like the opening chorus of the Golden Horseshoe. Hello, everybody. We're mighty glad to have you.
Oh, yeah. Seems like we're having some streaming issues again. What would a Saturday night of Disney Night Live be without streaming issues?
Womp womp.
Wonk, wonk, wonk. Oh, well, we're still here, and I'm not going to fret about it because
You know what? The gang is mostly here.
The gang is almost all here. We have a big crowd tonight. We've got myself, we got Disney Don, Skipper Jay, we got Jim, and we've got the Disney duo, Becky and Mike. I see Kim joining in. Everyone's tuning in through YouTube because the
Hi,
Disney the whatchamacallit feed, the Disney Night Live Facebook stream that I set up is not working. So I'm just going to close that because why even stare at something that's not working, right?
So, Dave, Becky, Mike, you're going to be here in the City Beautiful in like less than a month.
Valerie.
Yeah.
Just
can't
over
wait.
a month.
28 days.
Nice.
What is the first ride you're going to ride when you get here?
I don't know. It's going to depend what we get on our
Uber
working
from the
week, I guess.
airport?
No, it's the shuttle
Yeah,
in
the
the
Uber.
MCO shuttle from the when you get off the plane to go get your stuff.
Well, we don't actually go through MCO, so no, it won't even be
Oh,
that.
that's really
Yeah, we go through Sanford, so it'd be an
Oh,
Uber
okay.
ride maybe.
So
if
you're
you
you're
wanna
not
go
gonna
that.
you're not gonna go through like a giant mall and hotel, take a monorail to another giant hotel and
Right.
mall.
Yeah, no, we stopped doing that years ago.
We
It
don't
was
do
too
that
much
anymore.
stuff for Rowan to process at once. So, fun
Right,
fact
right.
though, David, I wanted to tell you. I know you
Tell
guys
me.
told me that you guys got the sunflower lanyard for Colton, and we
did.
just found out that our little tiny airport here that we usually take now has the sunflower lanyard. So we got
Oh,
it for
great.
Rowan. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So
Yeah, you got it in advance.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and most airports I guess are acknowledging it now. It originally started, I believe, in the UK.
yeah.
But when Colton wore it, he just got help like instantly, even at Newark Airport when we went last year. And the woman that helped us, we were online waiting to go through security, and she saw it, she pulled us out. She's like, "Hey, we got a sensory room. You guys want to see that?" She took us a whole different route, skipped a line on, to wait for security, and brought us to a whole new separate area. So,
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really neat that she recognized that and just like jumped to it and was like, "Hey, you guys want to go check out the sensory room? They had a fish tank and really cool stuff in there." So,
Oh,
Sweet.
that's really cool.
yeah.
I don't know if our little hotel would have something like that, but it definitely, they definitely had it up and was explaining some of some of the things that it does, says right on it, like it's
Right.
training their employees to recognize some invisible disabilities. So
Yeah,
made
exactly.
me happy because we're a little redneck town around here. So for them to do it, I was like, yeah,
Right.
one step
Yeah, no,
up.
it's good. That's a good thing. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Let me take these banners down. I apologize for that.
No, you
I'm
don't.
like one of
You don't mean it. You don't.
I'm one of those people that I'm extremely organized, but as soon as the slightest thing goes wrong and throws a hiccup into my plan, it just blows up everything. So the
It
fact
derails
that I
you.
can't exactly. I'm like overwhelmed right now with the fact that I can't get that stream and share it out. But we are on YouTube and we're on the other sites that I share to. I'm going to have to figure out something in between this week and next week now and get in touch with StreamYard again.
Hey, Dave, I will say, and I'm not encouraging everyone to do this like I do, but sometimes I just go to our YouTube page and hit a like on every single video or put them on in the background so that we get playtime.
I do that as well. I even do that in the group. I had read a long time ago that when you post something on Facebook, like if you like it, your own post, I guess it keeps it more in the forefront. So I do that. So it may seem like I'm like conceited and just liking my own stuff, but I'm just trying to do it to keep things more relevant.
Self-promotion.
Right. Self-promote. Let's self-promo. But anyway, we're here. So tell me.
Everyone, all at once.
Yeah. How's everybody else doing tonight? Jim, how are you?
I'm good. Hanging in there.
Good. It's good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Sorry we were not here last week. Kim and I got hit with the flu. We were pretty sick and just had no energy to do the show last Saturday. So, but we're here yet again tonight, which is fun. We have what we feel is a fun show. We always try to come up with fun topics. I was thinking about what's overrated and what's underrated at Disney World, and just try to focus on Disney World for this show. It doesn't mean we can't judge stuff from the other Disney locations, but I was kind of thinking how I always feel about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, being that I love the ride, but it's so short. So I kind of think like I was like, and that's, to me, it's overrated. And I was like, maybe we'll do an overrated versus underrated, right? Like just name some Disney things, could be anything.
Tron similar too.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But
such a fun experience.
1 hour queue for 10-second ride.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the rides that I think is underrated is the carousel. Not Carousel of Progress, but the
horsey carousel.
Yeah. It used to be Prince Charming's carousel. Yeah. I don't know what they renamed it to now, but that carousel is over 100 years old.
Right.
It was brought to Disneyland, Disney World, from a defunct amusement park, and they were able to save it and restore it.
Yeah.
And everyone walks by it without looking. I think it's a very underrated attraction. And also, if you think about it, Disneyland, Disney World started because Walt sat on the park bench watching his daughters on a carousel.
True that. Yeah. Very true.
It all starts somewhere.
It all has to start somewhere. Just real quick before we go any further with our topic tonight, I wanted to just mention our friends over at dmagicworld.com and just urge everybody to head over to dmagicworld.com and just kind of light them up, man. Like, listen to their stations, 2 stations. They've got that Disney Park station, but they've also got the Disney movie music station. But visit them, give them some love. I think Jasper needs to feel the love right now. And, if you do check them out, let them know that we sent you, because we're passionate about Disney and Disney music and movies, and D-Magic World has it all. Don't forget that you can request what you want to hear on that Disney park station. If you want to hear, the alien encounter, the whole entire show in its full, you can request it. So
he played that the other day, and I seriously turned the lights off and was like,
"It is amazing! It is so fun to listen to." Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite listens to on D-Magic World. But I would really appreciate it if you're watching live or you hear this back on a podcast, that you visit D-Magic World and just light them up, man. Send them some love, please. All this stuff isn't easy. A lot of people put time and effort into things, and I know Jasper puts a ton of time into D-Magic World, and sometimes you just want people to appreciate it. So
absolutely,
that's my spiel. Sorry about that. All right, back to the topic. Overrated or underrated?
I love this.
I'm overrated. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in and say overrated, and I'm just like, please, Uncle Walt, please hear this prayer wherever you are, and that is the Liberty Bell and Tom Sawyer Island and the river. Criminally underrated.
Funny enough, Jay, I agree with you with the boat ride, the Liberty Bell. It's so peaceful. We went on it like maybe two trips ago, I think, for the first time. And I mean, isn't it super exciting? Are you looking at things that are like, oh, look at that, or look at that? No, but I mean, it's just like a nice, peaceful ride where you get to calm down, relax a little bit, and just take in where you are and really be able to like go, wow, like I'm so happy to be here.
It was raining and
it was raining when we went too, and it's still Rowan had a blast. He made his own little honestly, he made his own little memory because he went down on the bottom. We were up on the top. He went down on the bottom and just like laid. No kidding. He's like, I have pictures of him. He's like this, just letting the rain like hit him and come down. And he was having a blast. And it was just those little things. It's like that little pixie dust memory, core memories things. And Liberty Bell lets you do that.
Yeah, it's one of the few attractions an entire family can ride, especially if someone is handy capable. You can get everybody on the boat together and have just kind of that, and it sells the story of that side of the park.
I'm embarrassed to say, in 20 years of trips with the family, we've never ridden that boat.
Same here,
really.
Same here, yeah.
You should do it.
I'm listening, I'm like, wow. That's maybe like the only thing I haven't done.
You get some amazing views up there. And I was really lucky. Last year, I was there in the morning and I got in line as soon as it opened. I was the only one. I got to ride the boat by myself.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yes, of course, I did.
They should have let Skipper Jay captain the boat.
Yeah.
I mean,
I asked if I could go up to the wheelhouse, and they were like, no, it's not like Disneyland. There's no pilot's license.
Right.
It's
not fair.
Friends of ours, Rich and Tammy, we were doing Disney with them, and if you've Disneyed with Marie, you know that she pushes people to the limit.
Yeah.
She has short legs, but boy, they go fast. And we got on to Tom Sawyer. We got on to Tom Sawyer's Island, and I told Rich, stay back with me. And we let Rich, Tammy, and Marie go off to the front. I said, go right. And we hit the right. There was a path to the right, and we went down to where Aunt Polly's is. And we just found 2 rocking chairs and kind of hung out there until they were calling us on the phone, wanting to know where we were.
You let them wear themselves out.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go do laps. We're going to sit here and watch the river.
And Don, you bring up Aunt Polly's. If you bring your own food to the park, that's a great picnic area. Great views. You'll probably be alone, but just a great area to eat.
Unless you're there one of the 2 days that it's open.
We've never
every 5 years. Island. Really?
Yeah, no? That's one thing we never did. I think that might be
a lot of fun.
We'll do it this time before they fill it in with dirt and turn it into Cars Land.
Yeah. Try
or some other ridiculous thing they don't need.
Yeah,
you'll enjoy.
I have this image of Skipper Jay like chaining himself to the wheelhouse of the Liberty Bell.
Yeah, I made that prediction this year that I don't think it's the river's gonna get filled up. I don't think it's gonna wind up happening. No. I think we'll get villains delayed, but I don't think we're getting cars.
I think you're being optimistic, and
I see like Skipper Jay transporting endangered salamanders into the river and letting them loose.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually.
Dude, I will go and clone a dodo, bring a dodo back, stick it on the island, and be like, look, there's one left. You can't do anything.
I don't know. I think you're smuggling the hopium.
The hopium, I love
that. Are you kidding? I'm snorting the hopium right now for the river to stay.
Yeah, you are
snorting it, smoking it, whatever I need to do.
Yeah. You're talking about the things like that are underrated that people ignore. In Epcot, I feel like the American Pavilion is terribly underrated. So at all the festivals, it always seems like the little booth out front, least attended, and there's seating and there's shade and there's areas. But inside itself, if you've ever gone inside, take a break out of the heat, Voices of Liberty, beautiful. And they sit all the kids around them and they interact, and then the acoustics in there are wonderful. And then the show, American Experience show, it's great. My humble opinion, far superior to the Hall of Presidents. Just to go in there and sit, and it's always empty. And you're there, like nobody there.
Right.
Because people just go past. Maybe because it's all the way in the back and they don't make it there. Because they're trudging across the World Showcase like it's the desert in Lawrence of Arabia. And made it all the way to the back.
I know, and that should be the one that's the most celebrated, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
The country that's the most celebrated.
Yeah.
After 9/11, they started something. I think has since ended. They would ask first responders to stand up and be recognized.
Yeah.
Now I was there with my brother, and my brother and I were both volunteer firefighters in my hometown, and they always asked the veterans to stand up, and I got to stand up, and they have a round of applause, and then they asked the first responders to stand up. So I'm like, get up here, brother, come on.
Yeah.
So I got to stand up there with my brother, and and people recognized what we do for our communities.
Oh, I'd cry. I'm such a sap when it comes to those types of things. See him on TV, see him in person. Yeah. I can't help it. I don't even have to know you. You'll be a perfect stranger, and I'm like over there like weeping, like, oh, thank you for your service.
Let me ask you guys real quick and the audience, because we always do. We all walk by that show. Is it because it's the halfway point of World Showcase, and we're like, all right, cross this, and we're at like 55% done? And we can just keep chugging along. Do you think if there was a ride there and not a show, it would be?
We stop there every trip, but it's not because we don't go inside. We're dummies and stay out in the heat. But we we have a traditional picture we take every single year at the water fountain, or is that considered a water fountain? Yeah, that big water fountain right in front of the American Pavilion. And Rowan has a pose that he does. We take the picture, and I think that takes our break for a minute, and then we're like, we're revved up again, ready to go.
We need to go.
Yeah.
And all that's left is what, France, right?
No. Yeah. Well, if you're going American the other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Because I hate to admit it, I've eaten at the Regal Eagle more than I've watched this show in the last 2 years.
We've never eaten there.
Regal Eagle, underrated.
And newer. Wasn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I think the Regal Eagle is underrated, because of all the festivals and all the festival foods that go around.
Yeah.
You can always go to Regal Eagle, get a good, consistent meal.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
It's, what? Yeah. It's something I would, if it was a chain, I'd eat there.
Is it a chain?
No.
If it was.
I thought you said if it wasn't.
Yeah. If it was, it always hits the mark. So.
That's cool. I'll have to try that out sometime.
I officially give up. Sorry. I'm sorry I've been quiet. I was trying to figure this out. I said I would.
Yeah, Dave, you're making us carry the show without you.
I know. It's really
the wild animals
it's
go.
It's your show, and you're putting the responsibility on us.
It's our show. And what I'm doing is I'm facilitating the conversation by allowing you guys to just take over. It's great. It's been I'm just enjoying listening to it. Like I'm not even on the show. I'm just here. Like I was having a good time. I was like, this is really good stuff. Hey, wait, I'm still live.
What about resort related stuff? Anybody got anything overrated, underrated at the various resorts?
Don was just talking to me about it right before the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. The fabulous Miss Marie and I, we used some points and stayed at the Grand Floridian. We had never stayed there. And after we got done, we were like, we spent all those points to stay here.
Right.
I think the Grand Floridian is grossly overrated.
Overrated.
Yes.
Oh, that's is overrated a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Well, I don't know, but I was
overrated. You would think up, but it's like boo. Underrated.
And I was thinking, well, would I stay here for a milestone, some type of milestone, whatever, birthday, anniversary?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I have more fun, at other resorts like the Wilderness Lodge.
Right. Yeah.
Wilderness Lodge to me is not overrated or underrated.
I don't know. Right. Yeah, Mike, you don't have an Argyle vest.
I do not. I do, and I also don't have matching Argyle socks, but we might be able to make that happen.
We could. Yeah.
Do you at least have the ascot like Fred from Scooby-Doo?
Right. We could Argyle ourselves up and just go there for like a meal or something and just like,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't fit the whole motif,
No.
the whole crowd, you know.
Nah.
I
It's
feel
not
very
not my thing.
I'll wear the suit jacket and tie and pants, but I'm not wearing
Right.
any shoes.
Yeah, no pants either.
I've spent
I'm
too
not
much
wearing
time in
pants.
the tattoo parlor to be accepted into that crowd. So
We've never stayed at
I hear
Grand
that.
Floridian, but we do go there and eat because the food's really good. Like we really like the Grand Floridian Cafe.
Yeah, the
You know,
cafe is underrated.
Yeah.
It's underrated, big time. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and you don't really have to be like dressed up to eat there. Like although a lot of people are like,
Well,
when we go,
Victoria and
we're still-
Albert's.
Right, well,
Yeah.
that's there. Yeah. But you see some people that are staying there and how dolled up they are to just like walk around the resort or have dinner. So
Mike and Don both make good points. Like, I go there and I don't feel like I belong there.
right.
And it's not fun. It's not a fun resort to be at. It's very
It's so pretty
very
and nice to
stuffy
see,
and
but, yeah.
Now,
poly
let's go to the
contemporary. I
other
can
side.
hang out.
Let's go to the other side of the Magic Kingdom resorts, and we'll go to Wilderness Lodge, and we'll go to Whispering Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whispering Canyon.
Underrated.
All you care to eat platters.
Which is great.
The pricing is fair, and the cast members will, if you want to play along, they're right there. Where's the ketchup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some ketchup. Next thing you know, you have 57 bottles of ketchup on your table.
Little cat soup. You can never have too much cat soup.
the cornbread there is amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cornbread.
There
What
was
is it?
something there was something they tried. They tried some type of cinnamon roll, and firecracker cinnamon roll, and I tried it, and it was so dry. It was not. I was like, no, never gonna have that again.
Was it just a brick?
It came like in a little case of dynamite. It was served like it was in dynamite.
Cute
And
idea.
It was just horrible.
It got blown up at Big Thunder, and that's what was left of it. And they waited a few days to bring it over. And
Well,
stick to
and
the brisket,
I think
chicken,
since
and
they've
sausage.
taken it off the menu, so it didn't go over well.
people just wanted the dynamite box and not what was inside.
Well, you had to give the box back.
Well, then, no, I'm not getting it at all now.
Yeah.
You can't have it back. It's mine.
Man.
Don and I were discussing
Taking it home.
Bay Lake Tower before we went live as well, and they're a little more than halfway through with their refurb. But even before the refurb, we feel that it's an underrated resort and have fallen in love with it. And now that I've seen a lot of the rooms online, they look great. They're refurbing the community
That's going
hall.
fast too.
Yeah,
I
they're
couldn't believe how
like
fast that's-
almost 3/4 around that tower.
Yeah.
And I think the pool area is going to get an overhaul as well. So it is it's definitely an underrated resort for us.
I love Bay Lake. Love it.
Mhm.
As you know.
I'll give you a hot take on overrated.
That's
Stormalong Bay. So
Oh, okay.
hectic, crowded. Getting any kind of service or drinks along there very difficult if you're just trying to relax.
right.
If you've got littles, trying to keep an eye on your kids. There's a lot of blind spots areas around. It's just
That's
generally
the one with the lazy river.
yeah, but it's like if you
Yeah.
want a water park, go to a water park. It's
Yeah.
like not.
Yeah.
We've had much better times at Jumbo House, the Kidani pool. Recently we stayed at Riviera last year. We had a fantastic time at Riviera.
Universal's Volcano Bay.
But it's just like I don't know. It's too much going on. All the people walking behind you trying to get to beaches and cream. So it's just
That's the problem with those two resorts.
No.
Is that they
it's
share
not a
that
chill
pool.
experience at all.
Right.
You just want to relax.
The only thing I ever hear people boast about at Yacht and Beach Club is the pool, which is a shared pool. And then that's going to be overcrowded, like Jim is saying. So, I've had a lot of fun at the Jumbo House pool when we stay there, and Bay Lake pool and whatnot.
Well, and I hate that they use the busing system their busing system for beach club, yacht club, and boardwalk are all in the same. It's like so crowded.
Yeah.
It sometimes it's like you just feel like a fish in a sardine can when there's so many people.
Right. We were resort hopping in it, and we were like sardines crammed in there in the middle of the day on like a Wednesday morning.
It's actually
like that.
all that congestion is actually a demerit for those resorts when like picking resorts to stay.
I mean, we really love the area. I mean, we're actually DVC owners at Beach Club. That's one of our home resorts, and but the pool after a while it was just like we've started bouncing around and doing other things. But I mean, love the location. Always a big fan of the Yachtsman. But
but that much chaos in the but that much chaos on the pool just defeats going to the pool.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I definitely want to try the Yachtsman. I've never tried that, and we love the Boardwalk area as well. We stayed at Boardwalk a very long time ago and loved it. But
there's an underrated restaurant there. We've eaten 3 times now in the last 2 years, probably. Trattoria El Forno. People don't go there, and
is that an Italian restaurant?
Yeah, it doesn't hit on anybody's lists.
I heard
the staff is wonderful, and one of the things we like to do, and I get a little chatty sometimes with staff, and they like it. People don't really inquire as much, and so we start talking to them, and we get into it. And they were talking about how they were trying harder. We'd had a meal there, and I was surprised. My wife had just grabbed something. We had gone down probably 2 years ago on a lark. We went down on St. Patrick's Day. We were like, let's just drive out for a couple of days, and we went down with the kids for St. Patrick's Day, long weekend. And we got in there, and we had a great meal. And I was really shocked how good it was. And so I told them at the end, I said, this is really high quality. I'm surprised you're not, at a notch up on some of these. I've had signature meals that were worse, and I'm not surprised to get decent Italian food at Walt Disney World is sometimes a little hit or miss.
Yeah.
So, and they were like, really? And next thing you know, the chef came out. It's like, what'd you like? So it was really terrific staff interaction.
And a lot of attention.
Cast members were terrific about it. And then we went back 2 more times, and it's been consistently good and not that hard to get a reservation in. People are rushing. They're going to go eat at one of the restaurants.
Right.
Well, that's funny because that's on one of my my underrated as well. Because you had said that you can't find Italian really, and I love Tullio's Italiana. We go there. You can get a walk-up reservation. Everybody always says, "Oh, Via Napoli." It's right next door. But
no, Tutto's is good too.
Yeah,
and you watch 100 people walk to the back.
Yeah,
and they walk right by Tullio's, and
we're just like,
it's consistently excellent.
We always have great staff too. They're always very pleasant and like to talk about their country and stuff like that. And we always have a good time.
But let's be honest, we all go to Via Napoli because it has the best looking employees anywhere in Orlando.
My brother would probably agree.
I mean, the food might be 1 star, but I don't think I'm noticing.
My brother fell in love with the one waiter there. He was
I've never noticed.
He was like starstruck almost. It was funny.
The people, but I can tell you that Tutto Italia comes across to me as more authentic Italian. When you walk in, the wait staff is very authentic Italian, and we've talked about it on the show. I mean, Colton was, I don't know, 6 or 7. Kim can correct me in the comments, but we were there in November, and his birthday's in November, and we told the waiter that he doesn't like loud singing. He has some sensory issues. So the waiter got down on his knees and he whispered the whole happy birthday song to Colton, and it was just such really a nice, touching moment. And we have a picture of him still. I mean, remember him? He was great, but the food, like you said, is always spot on. Like it's always consistent. But you know what it is? It's like things like Tutto, they just don't become like Instagram popular or influencer popular for some reason, right? Because they're not doing any gimmicky stuff, or it's not like a new festival. So it never gets that crowd like Trattoria Al Forno, which I've also heard because I've seen some videos recently, in the past, I guess over a year, how they really did pay attention and dedicate time to that menu and changing it and really improve their food.
They have upped their game, especially in the last 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it shows because people were like giving good reviews about it. So
I will just say this last thing about Via Napoli. It's the only restaurant where every time I go in, I sit down and I'm like, well, I see what souvenir I want to take home.
Giant brick pizza ovens.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I don't think that's what he's referring to.
Since we're in
How
Epcot,
good is the wait? How good is the wait staff? How good looking is the wait staff there at Via Napoli? Yeah, really?
He's
They're
like,
11s.
nah.
They're 11s. They are 11s and 12s. They start at 11s and 12s.
Really?
He's right. My brother-in-law, her brother, I thought I was going to have to pin him to the floor.
It's like it's fascinating. You walk in and go, "Oh my god!" Like the best looking people in Florida, they put them in one.
We got some zaddies going on or what?
They start at 11s and 12s. Okay.
All right. Listen, I'm all for it, and I want to see. I need to see pictures. So maybe we can encourage people. I don't know if this is wrong. But
I'm going to Epcot on Thursday. I may make that sacrifice.
Get us some man-hung pictures.
There's a signature restaurant in Epcot that.
Look how fast Don's like, get me out of this conversation.
Tom's blushing. Look, he's
they
blushing.
like flannel at that restaurant, okay? They like flannel.
They're Italian. Italians are good looking, Kim says.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. I'm not good looking. So no. People don't go to my restaurant to see me.
Marie and I used to go to Le Cellier.
Yeah.
On a regular basis. And then it got to be a signature dining, and we went, and we were like, okay, the prices went up, and I was like, but the food quality went down.
Right.
2
years ago,
when it wasn't signature dining, it was consistent and was good.
Right.
Now all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to go back and give it another try, and this may be the last time I go because it's just too expensive to have bad food.
To have a hit or miss experience at that price point. We ate there 2 years ago, and it wasn't even like my steak was okay. I didn't even enjoy eating it. And Kim's like, you didn't like it? I'm like, it wasn't good for me. And I love steak, but
Meanwhile, we go to Steakhouse 71 and get the prime rib, and I'm looking at Dave's going, hey, you going to finish that? Hey, you going to finish that?
Yeah, now the prime rib, we throw that down. That's good stuff.
Yep.
We're at Steakhouse 71?
Yeah.
Always good.
That's good.
I am wearing Colton's t-shirts. I fit into my son's shirts now, and he doesn't.
Dave, what you were just saying about, you're going and knowing the food is mediocre. Like I'm going to Cinderella's next month, and we pick breakfast because it's cheaper. Because I know it's you're paying for the experience. You're not paying for the food.
Again,
I know I'm going to get bad food
somewhere like that. It's character interaction.
Yeah, I know. I'm paying to have princesses come to my table.
I have to say now that my kids have crossed out of the character meal phase.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you want to eat? And they're like, flying fish. I'm like, okay.
That's got to be a great feeling.
They've grown up now.
Right.
Mike and I completely agree with you, Jay, for the same reason for we both have it on our list is to be our guest. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Be our guest on my list as being overrated.
Absolutely.
Flying fish is on my list to try again. We tried that very long time ago, but all I hear is great reviews on flying fish being underrated right now. How that menu has really just gotten
best meals I've had on property. For the last 3 or 4 years. For us, it always used to be Jico. We loved Jico so much. Jico has not recovered since COVID, in my opinion.
Oh no,
they lost a lot of the staff, and so that was part of the problem. And I believe the head chef that was running the kitchen moved on as well. And we've been back there, and it's gotten better, but it hasn't gone back to what it was. At one point, I would have told you it was the best meal on property.
Right.
That would have been prior to COVID.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot about Jico anymore. Boma is still, I guess.
Yeah, Boma's great.
Doing great. So we've never eaten at either one of them, and so Bum was definitely on my list of like I really need to try, but I want to go back to Flying Fish. Again, I want to try a lot of different restaurants, and haven't been back to Whispering Canyon since we stayed at Wilderness Lodge when we first stayed there. I mean, so Colton was like 5, I think.
Yeah.
That was a long time
would
ago
pay.
for you
I
guys.
It's a long time ago.
I would pay for Colton to go to Whispering Canyon with me just to sit back and go, have at it.
Unlimited meats and Coca-Colas, yeah.
You know what? I will be there just for the unlimited meats and Coca-Cola.
Right. Although he weighed himself like 2 hours ago. He's down to 169. He's under 170. So he's dropped like over 30 pounds. He's not eating like he used to consume. So I don't know, Don. It could be me you're watching eat the meat. Sounded.
Rowan loved that place, and it wasn't even. I mean, obviously they had the ketchup thing and all that, but he loved it because they had a big parade for the kids.
Yeah,
and they had like the wooden horses, and
the
they all
horses
ran around. He loved.
Yeah, COVID killed that one.
Right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a video of it. We're all swinging our napkins for them. It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Don and I were talking about Ohana a little like before we went live. Go ahead, Jay.
Dave, your lovely bride says, Ohana dinner is overrated. It's not what it used to be, and I had that on my list.
Yeah, so my problem is when the last time we ate there, the food quality wasn't as good. I could tell you that the meat, the steak was very just fatty and chewy, but it was more so the rushing. I mean, that meal was about a half hour long.
Yeah,
he had us in and out.
I mean, I remember when they used to walk around with shish kebabs of meat,
right, and
you would be like, yo, come on over here with that pork, and they bring slide it onto your plate from the shish kebab.
Now they bring you the plate, and every piece I tried was fatty and no good. It just
I hate it. I can no longer do the as they come by with the skewers.
The amount of food that you get at Ohana, to me, that's a really good portion. To me, it's a 2-hour meal. That's a 2-hour sit-down event. I want to eat that salad. I want to eat the noodles and dive into the apps.
Meanwhile, they're probably training their wait staff
and unbutton your pants.
Turn over the table. Turn over the table.
Right. Turn that table.
The more people we,
because of the demand.
More tables we turn over.
Yeah.
It's like Chef Mickey's terrible food, terrible service because they need those tables as quick as possible.
Right.
That was on Mike's list.
It's a very indulgent meal, and you finish it off with that terrific dessert, which is delicious, but it's very overrated now. The quality of some of the foods that they changed up a couple of years ago, and then versus, as well as the time limit. The first time we ate there, with the breakfast. So we had breakfast there, I think on this past trip or the year before. And it's standard breakfast food, but the experience was great. The character interactions were great, and the food was good. Like there was nothing that you're going to eat that's bad. It's standard Disney breakfast food, but it was all good.
The normal standard fare, right?
We've never gone other than breakfast, so we haven't experienced like some of the other things that people have had problems with. We've always done breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
If you go during dinner, and I can give this advice to anybody, the first thing I would tell that waiter is, please don't rush us. We paid I would even say we're paying a lot of money for this meal. We're on vacation and we want to enjoy this. Please do not rush me out of here.
They need the sign. They need the signs like at Forrest Gump restaurant. Go, Bubba, go. Run, Forrest, run. Stop, Forrest, stop.
Yeah.
Run, Mickey, run. Stop, Mickey, stop.
Yeah, like the Brazilian restaurants with the corn, with the thing you flip over red and green. Like, give me that. Like, all right, leave me alone and don't even come to my table and bother me or bring me anything else until I turn this back to
flip
green.
It over.
Yeah.
Which is what I really want at Cinderella's next month. I'm really hoping they have one of those because, I don't need every princess.
You're going for breakfast, Jay?
Yeah.
I think they have a steak and eggs on the menu.
I looked at the menu and I was like, $73 and French toast is the best looking thing on here.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no zaddies there.
One of the places that I wanted to eat that I haven't ate yet is Space 220?
Space 220.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone ate there yet?
We have not, but we've heard the prices are extremely high and the food is not very good.
We actually had a reservation for it and then canceled it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kim got her claws on that, and she canceled it. That went right in the trash.
I looked at the menu. I was like, there's nothing on here. I'll eat. And
Jim,
to
have
me,
you
it
had
was,
The only
you know,
reason that I would go
60 bucks
there
for
is
what,
maybe to sit at the bar.
The bar.
See, I've been
Maybe
to the bar.
Experience is worth it. I don't know, but
Right.
I've been to the bar and had some of the bar food, had a couple drinks, and I was like, okay, one and done. I don't need to come back here again.
Yeah. I'd like to experience it, and again, like Don said, sit at the bar, try the lobster roll or something. But I haven't heard anything good about the food. I haven't even seen any reviews or vlogs or anybody talking about it.
You know, when you were like grade school and middle school and they take you to the science center on a field trip?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's what Space 220 feels like.
Yeah. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's become the NBA experience or Star Cruise or resort.
No, because it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably go away eventually.
So
What,
one of the things that I've done that I think is underrated and kind of like a hidden gem. When I was vacationing with my buddy Rich and Tammy, Tammy took Marie to go to a spa, and they went and had a spa thing while they were at doing whatever, getting their nails, hair, whatever they were doing done. My buddy Rich and I, we went fishing. We chartered a boat and went fishing, and we had a great time. The boat anchored right off the bridge in Disney Springs, and we fished that channel. And every cast, just about every cast, we were getting hits. So it was. I think we should get a Disney Night Live fishing trip together next time we're all in the area.
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'll take some boat on and I'll have my little sea hat.
It is early in the morning, so.
Right.
I'm ADHD, man. I can't sit still for more than like 3 minutes at the most.
But I mean,
I am too, but I can sit in my boat for hours. So
yeah, it is catch and release.
Tuska House.
Yeah.
I like Tuska House. Yeah.
Catch and release. That's what I called dating life before I got married.
Catch and release. Tuska, what all right, let me maybe name a couple things and you guys could all tell me what you think. Space Mountain, overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated.
I love Space Mountain. It's just with my knees now, I can't get out of the. I get stuck.
Back
in the damn
support
park.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Lower
Jim,
back.
I went on that one trip. I went on Space Mountain. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get out of it. It was the first ride we rode on the first day. I couldn't get out of it, and that she had to help me out and my son. And when they did, I couldn't walk for almost a week.
Yeah,
no, it's really rough. It's
done.
like
I was done with rides, everything. I would walk a half a mile and sit down. Yeah. They would go on a ride, and I would just sit there and watch the bags. I was like, I can't even move.
They offered my family a re-ride we went the last time, and then for some reason they got a second pass through it, and I was like, no, I'm going to meet you outside. I said I cannot ride this twice in a row.
Yeah, I'm sitting this out.
I'll be crippled for the trip.
It's that bad.
It would be more fun at this point to slide down the side of the building and like and wherever you land.
But
however
20
hard
years ago we would have
be the fastest way to get to Tron.
Yeah, it's true.
Because Kim, you're 5 foot tall and you're still like.
It'll be a longer ride than Tron too.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, because now that Tron is done, up and running, and we know it Tomorrowland rehab is coming on. We've seen what they're doing to Tokyo Space Mountain. It's the oldest operating coaster here in Florida. It's so much space inside. I can see them opening the doors and just gutting what's in there and putting in something new in the next couple of years.
I think they would run into massive nostalgia pushback.
Yeah, okay.
I think it would make the Splash Mountain pushback look like Shallow.
Yeah,
Well,
and this is from the man that still cries over Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Well, I'm still mad about the Country Bears at Disneyland, and that's like 24 years ago.
Maybe they can come up with a new ride vehicle that isn't as uncomfortable.
I'm talking about replacing the coaster with something new. Like you could do the first looping coaster in Magic Kingdom alongside a family-friendly coaster.
He hates Tron. I loved Tron, although it was very short. It's way too short, so it's overrated in that standpoint. But I love Tron. But she was like, she hated that queue. She hated everything about Tron.
We have an hour queue for like an 8-second ride, right?
Yeah, Tron's on my overrated too. I wasn't a big fan.
Oh yeah,
we have a particular Tron complaint.
The empty circuit city that is the queue.
And I feel like, I think after Guardians, it was like at first before Guardians was there, it was like, well, it is at least the newer, more modern roller coaster. Most people who came to Disney who's never been there before was like, okay, that's the coolest roller coaster because all the other ones aren't really considered roller coasters in theme park view, brands. But then they got, you know what I mean, Guardians, and it was like Tron, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like it just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years for Tron.
Yeah.
And I think that's also part of we waited so long for that attraction. Universal was able to take a toxic waste dump and build the world's greatest theme park in 5 years. And we took 5
to copy a ride that
when they opened it was covered in rust, right? By the time they opened Tron, there was rust on like all the joints and bolts and welds where they welded the stuff together. It was like,
and up until a couple of months ago, it was filthy.
Jim, what were you going to say about Tron?
So, my older son Dan, David knows this. My older son Dan has cerebral palsy, and so he uses a mobility scooter to get around. He's 21 now, so he's gotten better about expressing his take on how disability fits into the world, right? And so his observation, he's quite angry about Tron, actually, right?
Yeah.
So he understands with the older rides that, you've got to transfer. They were built before ADA compliance, and he's got to do the transfer to a wheelchair, and someone's got to push him in Space Mountain. Fine, he understands that. Right? Guardians, they built, no problem. He can take the scooter all the way down. He can do a transfer. They built Tron, and it was possible for them to make it accessible. They made a choice to make it not accessible, that he has to transfer to a park wheelchair. And I'm assuming because they wanted to copy the whole design right out of Tokyo and do everything exactly the same, but to have made the lines a little wider and to done the same type of thing that they did from a loading perspective to take people off and get people in and out. So his thing was they made a choice to make this ride more difficult for people with disability. And he's ticked about it.
Not even to think about that they could change what
minimally. I mean, they obviously did it with Guardians and Ratatouille and anything else that they built. They built those from the ground up. They built them accessible.
Yeah. See, I've wondered about that too because the hallways get very narrow. It's like claustrophobically narrow when it's crowded.
I can honestly barely get a wheelchair through because I'm the one pushing it, and I can tell you.
Yeah,
that's something they should have known. They should have known better.
What do they do? There's accessible, I guess, ride vehicles on Tron. Is that like where you
he can get on? If I get him up to the bike, he gets on.
Yeah,
he gets on the bikes.
Right.
With some difficulty, but he will not be deterred. He's like, no, I'm riding the bike.
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned another ride, Ratatouille. What does everyone think about Ratatouille?
I love Ratatouille. It's underrated.
I love that ride.
It's in the background here of our, it was my attraction that I used for the show advertisement this week.
I love that whole area of Epcot anyway.
It's terrific. I love it back there.
Yeah, the little cafe area in the back where you can do all the goodies in France, or the Grand Marnier's frozen slushy in the front. In the back. Oh. I'm good. You can just leave me there all day.
Right, just hang out in France. It's like like an adult's daycare.
I've always thought it was like Adult Land.
Yeah. Right.
Fabulous Miss Marie and I were in Epcot during the summer. I don't know why I decided to go. It was just under the heat of the sun, and we were both sweating. I said, well, let me go get you a slushie. So I went and told her I was getting her an orange slushie. I got her a Grand Marnier slushie.
You hammered her in the sun.
My favorite drinks on property.
Right. Yeah. But
let's do a lightning round.
Yeah.
Right.
And let's like Carousel of Progress. What does everyone think?
Nope.
Underrated. Underrated.
Overrated. It's overrated.
Classic,
They could bulldoze that ride tomorrow, and it would. I wouldn't care one iota.
Classic. Underrated classic.
It's particularly good if you're on it when there's a malfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're taking a nap, because there's nothing else that's interesting on that ride.
Something catches fire or something.
Yeah.
You know, like.
How about Smuggler's Run?
Oh, underrated.
Underrated.
I think so too. I love that ride.
Better than Rise.
Yes, my family.
That was the next one. Rise of Resistance.
Who said is it better than? Did somebody ask if it's better than Rise?
No, he said it was better than Rise.
Oh, it is better than Rise. Yes.
It is.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree.
My family, everyone would agree. And if you can get 6 people, or if you get 5 alone, or whatever, if it's just
right,
you get everybody to agree. You can ask the cast member to put it into Chewy mode if you haven't tried that.
Yeah.
We have not
mode is
yet.
awesome. Yeah.
I would give it underrated over. Anyway, I'm giving it overrated because we just have the one show. If we had more than one level of this video game to play.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but Chewy mode does bring a different.
But on Star Tours, we can get something different every single time. So
didn't I read or hear that they were going to bring new?
We're getting next year when Mandalorian the movie comes out, we're getting Mando and Grogu on the ride, and yay, Grogu.
Awesome. Oh God, you won't be able to keep Kim off that ride.
No, Kim will just sit there the whole time waiting for it. Like Mandu's gonna walk off the ride or something.
Hold on, I have to take this out of his. I have to take this out of his hand.
Kim,
I agree with Kim. Star Tours is underrated, and
Star Tours is
fixing it up.
That was the next one. In the lightning round, Star Tours.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Star Tours is a classic.
And they're still adding content. Last year they added a whole bunch of new stuff. It was terrific.
Always adding new ride shows.
And I love it when Star Tours, when the canon doesn't matter. Like you'll be in the original trilogy, then you'll be in the prequels, then you'll be in the sea. Yeah, I love that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it shouldn't. It's just
you know what? It's like you're a kid and you've got all your Star Wars toys and you're banging them together. That's what Star Tours is.
The Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
It's just that's just to me. It's right on par.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not overrated or underrated. It is what it is to me.
It's just time to get the bulldozer out and put something new there.
I like it still, but
it no longer fits the park, unfortunately.
Right,
it's a holdover from the old park.
Right, it's the last live thing they've got going on there.
Yeah. Well, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast needs to go. Just go. It needs to run.
Yeah, Beauty. Right.
Well, someone needs to put something else. Cyanide. They need to put it down.
Yeah. Bring some other IP in there.
Let's say you can't see it, but this entire shelf right here is nothing but Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You can tell.
And I love the Indie Stunt Show, but dude, that's a huge chunk of real estate. You could drop Zootopia right. Boom.
Last year they dropped a temporary bar outside of the they're trying to push the alcohol, but temporary bar outside of Indiana Jones with
they do that once in a while.
They did when we were there, remember?
Right. Yeah, they pop that bar up there and they have like stuff you've never seen before, like a floating bar.
It's pretty funny though. It's like let's throw some people over this way.
Right. They're like, guys, want some like top shelf liquor? Come on. Go on.
Come on.
And you theme it to Raiders of the Lost Ark? What?
Right.
How many times can I say yes?
So make the floating bar have like, certain indie themed drinks. Try to do something.
Yellow Shoes. If you're listening, I don't need a popcorn bucket. I need I need adult
Indie
popcorn
drink.
buckets for alcohol, and like the first one can be like you put the booze in, and the boulder rolls after Indy, and a straw comes out of his hat.
like the construction helmet with
Mai
the two
Tais for all.
beer cans
Yes.
on the side. They should do instead of a popcorn bucket, they should do a drink helmet thing.
The new Bride Sipper. Oh, you know
Right.
what? As you drink it, the heart beats.
Yeah, the boulder can roll right across your head, back and
Right,
forth,
yes.
and Indy can run from one cup to the
Around.
other.
Yeah, he runs around as the boulder goes. Yellow Shoes, if you're listening, come on. We need adult stuff in the parks.
Let's do
To be
it.
fair,
Bob.
it's never been easier to get a cocktail at Walt Disney World than it is
It's
today.
never been easier.
Get the mini ears. We need drinky ears.
They have drinky ears. Instead of a
Drinky
crazy
ears.
straw, crazy ears that have the liquor that flies through the ears. You know, we haven't talked about the most underrated and the just like, to me, like the best thing at Disney World of all things.
Tower of Terror?
Tower of Terror.
No. Mm.
Oh.
No, it's the most underrated thing ever. It's Navi River Journey.
I love
When
it.
it's working.
When it's
When it's working.
I
You're
love
right, Jim.
Navi. Oh my God, that's stupid.
I love
ride. I don't
Navi.
like
Not
it.
as
It's
much
a
as
small
Magic
world with a
Castle,
different
but-
music.
I mean, the final animatronic is amazing.
It's amazing.
50% of the time, it's not working.
It's not working. I do love it though, Navi. Kim's like, why do you like this ride so much? I'm like,
It's a necessary attraction. Not
Weird.
everything needs to be an e-ticket. We need to have those
Right.
shows, those
Absolutely.
fillers. Need to sell the experience.
more drunk folk at Disney. That's what they're going for. Yes. Yes. Yeah. More festivals. Drink.
I was in studios not long ago, and it's like a half hour after opening. It's like 9:30, and there's already a woman. No, she's like, yeah, she's at the alcohol. She's like, mommy needs this.
Yes,
She's getting like a screwdriver, a double screwdriver.
So in
But the way
Galaxy's
she-
Edge,
Mom needs a
it's the
break
same
too.
kind of thing, right? So you're there first thing in the morning, and you're at the back of Galaxy's Edge, and you want coffee. And they're like, "Do you want alcohol in that coffee?" And I'm like, "It's 9 o'clock in the morning."
I do.
I do.
I don't need an Irish.
What's
And
wrong
that
with
coffee
you?
is disgusting. That was on my underrated or my overrated list. I
Overrated?
can't stand Joffrey's coffee. Ugh.
No.
It's like pouring coffee through a gym sock from 1985.
It is a
Like, you
local-
find an old gym sock from 20 years ago in a bag that you like pulled out from underneath your bed or something, and then you pour coffee through that, or you make coffee in the gym
It
sock.
is
That's
a
what it tastes
local
like to me. It's
Orlando
absolutely terrible.
small business, and we should be supporting the small business over
Prison
Starbucks.
coffee,
even though
Mike.
I'm
even
not a
though-
local to
even though
Florida to
Starbucks
use the
is-
portum,
Yeah.
and I'll drink good coffee.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're at the
my
Polynesian or
coffee-
at your Animal Kingdom Lodge, you cannot get a good.
You know
Give me a
what?
Kona hot press.
That-
I agree with that,
Kona
Jim. I agree.
That Joffy's at the TTC where I can get a $3.50 large black coffee.
No thanks. I'll go right into Starbucks.
I can tell you how
and
bad-
get a
how bad
coffee
I
that
am
tastes
for
like
coffee.
coffee. Get cold in a cake pop.
A local small business. Support the don't support Starbucks. Support the local guy.
But
Come
I
on.
think
Disney supports
the
them enough.
most
I don't have to.
absolute,
Well, I know,
the
but you
most
know.
underrated thing on property.
Cream cheese and Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, that's the Star Wars coffee in the back with the alcohol.
Ooh, I want that.
It's disgusting.
Okay,
Well,
I would
the
try. I would.
most-
Try, I would try that though. I will try that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, one of the most underrated things on property is any drink served in a pineapple.
Yes.
Go ahead.
La-
I mean,
Lapu Lapus.
yeah. Ooh.
Those will get you going, man. You take you do one
Yeah.
Lapu Lapu, you're feeling good. I
The
love
next thing
those
you know, you got 2 or 3 people sitting around drinking
Yeah.
drinking drinks out of pineapple.
pineapples.
I was
you
going
know
to say,
what's
David,
funny?
we've hung out before. I know you drink
Oh,
more
yeah.
than one, so
Oh yeah, I love rum based drinks, but it's always funny. Like if you're at the Poly, and you have one, and you see somebody with that Lapu Lapu, and then the other people that just got there that day, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, "Where'd you get that drink in the pineapple?"
Mhm.
Yes, you
No.
can afford a Lapu Lapu for $25 too.
I was so
We
bummed
always
though.
that's
have
the
a list.
mood.
I'm curious.
Last time you guys were in town though, like I had to fly out the next day to do a road trip. Was like
Yeah,
I'll just have the one like really light beer, thanks.
Yeah, not me. I'll have more rum drinks, please.
Keep them coming by the gallon, right, David?
Yeah, let's go. Colton, sorry about your college tuition. Daddy's drinking it up.
Community college for you, kid.
Yeah, hope your grades are good enough to get a scholarship.
There's 3 different rums in here, pal. Don't worry. Oh man, overrated, underrated. This is fun because there's so many different things at Disney that you could, you can give your opinion on whether you think it's overrated or underrated.
This is one of those. If we needed to do a marathon episode, this could totally be the marathon and just run for the next 6 hours.
I like it because then I can kind of get angry a little bit, and I can smash some of the stuff into overrated. You know what I mean?
Well,
and I can kind of get a little mad at some of the stuff that ticks me off while I'm at the parks.
And we've been on this show, we've been on this show for an hour and 7 minutes, and I haven't even gone through probably a quarter of my list. So
you want to quickly rapid fire stuff?
Oh no, that's not what I meant. I mean, I can if you want me to, but I'm just saying, like,
no,
you said it could be a marathon thing. It's definitely
it's dinner time after this. You know that.
This is my life. This is like what I do, Becky.
Are you like that little puppy on 101 Dalmatians? I'm hungry, Mama. I'm hungry. I
really am.
Jay's a local.
They're waiting for you to fire them off.
Oh, for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, okay. So quickly, I'll just say overrated for me. I don't like the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. I think it's kind of like, whatever. I know it's a staple. I think I'm dumb. I don't like pretty much any of the actual like roller coasters, but that's because I grew up, going to, Six Flags, Dorney Park, and all those kinds of big, real,
real roller coasters.
So I don't think Everest or Big Thunder or any of them are up my alley. I do not like the train at Magic Kingdom. I think it's boring.
That's on my list too.
Honestly.
Get to look at the back of buildings. Yeah, it's wonderful. Let me tell you.
And all of the technology part of Epcot could go to me, except for Guardians. I do like Guardians, and maybe Test Track. But like when you get to the land and go forward, I like it. But like any of the technology part, it's just not my thing. I guess
hopefully the refurb at Test Track will be different then.
Yeah.
Becky, Future World's been dead since Horizons died, so it took all of the promise with it.
Yeah.
Do you have some underrateds?
So my underrateds are I really love the Festival of the Lion King show. I think that's so cute.
Very good.
Every time we do it, we just love it. I also love I don't know if the actual proper name is. I know there is one, but the trash can musical guys that do the drums.
Yeah, the Jamminers.
So cool.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so cool.
I love that. Every time I hear it, I beeline for it. Like, where is it? So
and we take a break and we watch those guys for sure.
I have some video from our trip last spring with them, and I'll post it again if you want. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, I usually go live.
Like, why am I watching this? I'm like, just watching. He's like, that was pretty good. I'm like, I know. Yeah.
The drummers outside the Japanese pavilion are good too.
Very yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even though I don't like the train, I do think just taking 5 minutes and going and do that overlook at the train station that looks over into Magic Kingdom. I just think that's
Main
so
Street.
Cool. It's just such a nostalgic.
It's a good picture.
Yeah.
It's a good picture opportunity too.
Yeah. And then my last one is, and it's not here anymore, so I don't know if it really actually applies, but to me, it's not here, and that's why it's underrated. Is I absolutely loved the Star Wars Galactic Spectacular when they had it at Hollywood Studios. I thought it was amazing.
It was
one of my
so
favorite
fun.
Fireworks show, and
with the fire and the heat. It was
you'd basically come out of Fantasmic if you were watching Fantasmic right into that Galactic, show, and it was really neat. It was very cool to come from there to that.
Yeah.
Good way to end.
We always did Hollywood Studios 2 nights because we always wanted to see Fantasmic because we love that show too, but we didn't want to miss Galactic Spectacular either. Yeah. So we always did 2 nights at Hollywood Studios so that we could do one of each because we just loved it.
It's a great time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things that I think is, was underrated and ended up going to the wayside was Osborne's.
I missed
Osborne,
that.
I mean, that
Which
You
just
is
sit
Yeah,
down
we
with Fantasmic and you would
Yeah.
go walk through Osborne, get yourself a cup of hot cocoa, and
people still aren't over that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I grew up
It
seeing
was
that.
terrific.
And
Yeah. Come
Now
on,
it's
that
gone.
was awesome. Jim, you have a list? Do you have a couple you want to
I have a
rattle
couple
off?
we didn't get to. So on the
Yeah.
overrateds is the one I'll get savaged on by most people online. Right? Dole Whip. So I would much rather have the orange and vanilla swirl from Sunshine Tree Terrace than like the straight Dole Whip.
I
think
love
that
Dole
that's
Whip, but
much
yeah.
tastier and easier
I
to
like
get.
Dole Whip too.
Right.
Yeah,
Have
we
you
love the
tried the
raspberry one,
coconut
too.
Dole Whip?
Mm.
You talk about getting a bulldozer. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin.
Get rid
You
of
think
it.
it's
It's
over?
such sad shape. Yeah, it's horribly overrated.
Mm.
People are packing into that thing, lines outside in the heat. That's terrible. It's absolutely.
It's like an old gymnasium that hasn't been
Yeah.
updated in like 200 years.
Slinky Dog Dash. Not that the ride itself is bad for kids, but wait time versus the ride.
Yeah.
It's like you want to stand outside for 120 minutes. And,
Yeah.
you know,
In the heat, in the
don't
sun,
get me
there's
started
no
on
shade.
Toy
Yeah,
Story
there's no
Land
shade.
anywhere.
There's no shade there.
Toy Story Land is the most brutal section in
Yes.
Walt Disney World. It's
Mhm.
like
I agree.
you should get a merit badge just for crossing that.
Just
track.
for finishing, right?
It's
You know,
Just
just
for
but-
passing through it.
But there
Yeah.
is hope though, because there's metal umbrellas that if you're lucky enough to get out of the sun and stand under one of the
they
metalish
just radiate the
umbrellas,
heat.
yeah, you get even hotter. But you
Honestly,
should, when you're at Animal Kingdom and you do they give you the stickers, like the kids can do different activities.
Yeah.
Like you should get a sticker, Jim. You're right. Like when
Yeah.
you finish waiting in line for Slinky Dog Dash.
It's so
That's
bad.
surviving
Yeah.
it. I survived.
I have never and will never.
It's
Right,
not like
yeah.
I hate the ride. It's just I'm like I'm not putting
Right,
myself
the
through
ride's
punishment.
great.
Right. It's worth 20, 30 minutes max, but
Hmm.
I'll give you a couple of quick underrateds.
Yeah.
So snacks. If you haven't had it, the candied bacon on a stick over in Frontierland
Ooh, I
Yeah,
don't
but-
know.
is not what it sounds like.
Mm.
It's pork
I'll
belly,
eat that.
Fatback.
and it's delicious.
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
thick. I see the
I
picture.
I
of
could
it.
It's a
not
big
stand
it's a
it.
big
Ugh.
slice of pork belly, and it's
Mm.
really good.
Oh, yeah.
If you want a
That's
little
right
bit
up my
of it,
alley.
That's so
He
good.
loved it. I was like,
Yes,
I could
Valerie.
not. I was like,
the
"Ooh, this
thought
is
of
gross."
that just made him cry. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's
He-
delicious. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And so I love Galaxy's Edge anyway.
Yeah.
Huge. From seeing Star Wars in 1977 when I was a kid, I'm just all the way in. It could be better. I have no argument, but I still love it. But for me, Docking Bay 7, you give me in a hot day, give me a Golden Squadron lager and a
Mm,
cool tuna poke. I'll just sit there all day and just people watch. And
Yeah.
just soak in the atmosphere.
Mhm.
And I've been in that park on days when it's the crowd level's like 8 or a 9. And I'll go back there and I'll mobile order and walk right in. Staff will see me and they're like topping off the beer. You
Yeah.
can get a seat. I can't believe that you can still find space back there, even in the park's crowded. I think people are put off by the menu. The menu's delicious. The batu.
Yeah, no, the food's good.
Be right back.
That's-
Good cocktails. I think my wife likes the Surly Sarlacc.
Right.
You know, it's just a great place to hang out.
I had
the
the
back of the
yucca
park.
fries there.
Yeah, yucca
our
fries,
past
really
trip.
good.
They were
I'm in
really
love with that whole area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in love with that
But the
whole
food-
thing.
You could just
Food is
drop me
good.
there. I'd be like, I just hang out there all day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kim loves the dip chicken, and
Yeah, no,
Golden does too. And I
I
love
think because
the
it's
food.
not a
That's
burgers
good.
and fries joint. I just
Yeah,
don't
but-
change it. Just leave it, please.
And the Ronto's wrap. I mean, I know you can get
Those
it
are good for
at-
breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you can
I
bring
like
them-
them in general.
I could eat
You can
50
bring
of
them
them
in there.
things
You can get a
in a
Ronto
week.
Yeah.
wrap. And
That's
bring
what I
them
do. I
in.
mobile order a Ronto's wrap and then go over there and
I
get
love the
rolling.
Ronto
I
wrap.
can't believe people still
Chicken or-
stand in line, but I'm happy that they do because I'm just like, okay. The one
Yeah.
improvement. I actually hate having to use my phone as much as we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the mobile order thing actually does work, and you can go
Mhm.
pick
underrated, right?
and then just go, and you're walking across and you get there and everything's ready. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you do that?
We do that all the time. Kim's like, I'm going into Docking Bay 7 with Colton. You go get that Ronto wrap and meet us in there. We'll have a table
Yeah.
and, But, yeah, definitely. That's a good one. I forgot about Docking Bay 7. Well,
I love that
there
whole
you
section
have
of the
it.
park.
That whole area is great.
It is. It really is.
that's the overrated and underrated. Our opinions, really.
Part one.
Yeah, you know what? Part one. There's part. We could do like 1,000 parts on this, but we'd like
I think
to
you're
hear
right.
what everybody else has to say. If you rewatch, put it in the comments, or if you check out, when we put this out as an audio podcast, let us know what you think. Overrated or underrated at Disney World. You can end any Disney location for that matter. Let us know what you think are overrated and underrated items, because there's a lot of different things.
Hey, Dave, speaking of locations and underrated, you're a travel agent.
You know what? Thanks for reminding me. I forget every week. Hi, my name's DavidPicciano, and I work alongside with Travelmation, and I'm a travel specialist. I can help you take the hassle out of the castle. I can help book your Disney trip. I could help book any trip, really, but I specialize in Disney because that's my thing. I love Disney. But you want to go somewhere, I can get you to that destination. I can help you plan it. And my services come at no cost to you, which is pretty cool. Thanks for reminding me, Jen. That's my spiel. That was a fun show tonight. I'm glad I'm feeling better this week. And we got back on the air and we did our live stream. I'm so glad that the Facebook group didn't work again. I'm glad
you
that
handled it very much better. You didn't
a little
let
bit
it
better.
affect you.
Yeah,
I gotta
try not to, Don.
I gotta say,
And we didn't even mention Boba Balls this time.
We didn't talk about balls.
We missed something good last time.
We must have. We must have missed something.
Well, the one episode.
we're children. We're giant
The
children.
one episode Kim was on, and we were talking about things in Bubble Balls.
I can tell you, fresh back from the parks this week and looking at Epcot menus next week, boba balls have been replaced with mint. I don't know who got a good deal on mint, but look at the park menus. Sadly, mint's about to be on everything. It's the new pomegranate for Disney.
Why? Is it for St. Patrick's Day? Is that why?
No. Someone got a really good deal on mint leaves, so we're gonna be having just like someone got a good deal on the boba balls. We're gonna be seeing mint leaves for the.
Oh boy!
Somebody made a deal with the mint gods. So.
We need to make a mojito.
If you're a mojito guy like me, it's great.
That's fine. One mojito, and I'm in it out.
Everybody's breath will be good anyway. Can't promise their body will be, but
at least your breath will smell good. Eat that mint.
Some executive walked through the park and was like, "Okay, you know what? Force breath mints on people.
Ginger and mint." Oh man, come back next week, everybody. So stay tuned for another fun episode every Saturday at 8 p.m. of Disney Night Live. We'll be back next Saturday with a fun topic and a fun show. I'd like to thank my co-host tonight for joining me. I would like to thank you for tuning in. Check us out on the podcast when this episode goes up, and check out all our other podcasts. Hope everybody has a good rest of your evening. Here's our outro. Guys, stay on if you want to chat for a few minutes. Jay, I know you have dinner, but
I'm going to stay for a couple minutes. But
I'll be back after this.
It's such a tease to the audience.
We're going to hang
out without you. Bye.
Go check out the Zaddies over at Via Napoli, too, if you get a chance, and send us some photos.